You can respond to the chat box. Good morning, everyone. Just a bit of housekeeping. Please keep your mic muted at all times, all right? Because a lot of interruption will just interrupt the talk as we go. Second thing, don't forget to ask questions. Don't feel shy. Don't worry. Any questions you have, just keep asking so that we all can learn together. I myself will learn with you as well, okay? And then ask as you go, and then be very active in the chat box. All right, that's very important for me so that we are engaged all the time. Um, Stop doing whatever else that you're doing. Okay, whether you are doing online shopping or you're in Facebook, TikTok, or you're in meetings, you're working, just put everything aside. This talk will never come back. Okay, next year will be something else. The talks after this will be something else as well. So give your unparalleled attention here. Stop doing everything else. Put your smartphone very far away. Very, very far away. Okay, all right. So let's get started. Very good morning, everyone. So we are in our second talk today. All right, second talk with UPSI. Thanks to the UPSI organizing team. Very nice of them to organize this, NCDRC. Okay, so how many of you have actually attended the last talk? How many of you never attend the last talk on the thesis development? Do respond to the chat box. How many of you attended last talk and never attend the last talk? So I'll know that we have new audiences today, and I need to introduce some of the important part. Okay, so we have Ramin first session. Okay, so quite a number of them join newly who are more interested on publication. And then also, while you're answering to my question, any supervisors or any academicians around? Or it's all students? Any academicians? So is it Dr. Ramin? Okay. Any other academicians around? Okay, very well. So I guess we have only one, I guess. That's fair enough. Okay, fantastic. All right, so we can get started on that note. We can get started. Floating window, done. All right, so today's talk, the last talk we focused on thesis, okay, thesis, but with an angle of publication. See, that's the beauty of that talk. We just don't talk thesis, GOT, GBT, the same thing all over again. We don't talk about that. We talk about how to develop a good thesis, okay. On top of that, how can you focus on publication while you're working on the thesis as well. So that's very, very important. This is what a lot of mentors, a lot of coach, a lot of workshops, a lot of supervisors as well miss out actually. So they don't emphasize on publication. Some of them do. I'm not saying everyone, but most of them they always look at proposal thesis. But they then when the time comes for publication, then only they start looking at it. Publication will take time. It's a long stretch. Okay, some will take 1 year, some will take 8 months, some will take 2 years even, so many rejections, so many reviews, so many submissions, so many formattings. It's big headache. All right. So my advice to you always is start early. Start as you push through. Okay, that means as you write your proposal, as you write your thesis, write your journals as well, plan your journals as well. Okay, so how to do that? That is what we're going to focus today. So now today we're going to look at the angle of, we're going to look at from a journal perspective with an angle of thesis as well. So we're going to cover both slightly on the thesis as well. Okay, so let me also open some of my channels. Okay, all right. So today's topic is the exquisite journey to high impact publishing. Right, so we're going to look at high impact publishing. Now, for those who have joined for the first time who don't know me, let me introduce myself to all of you. I'm Dr. Thava. I have a PhD, completed mine in 2 years and 11 months. So I am eligible to talk about graduate before time, but I'm not going to talk about it today. All right, so I think we had enough of that. I don't want to stress you guys. Some of you, have a lot of commitments in life. Maybe graduate before time or graduate on time might not be viable or feasible. We have to be realistic in our life. So don't get stressed out. Don't get massively annoyed. Don't get pressured with all this GOT, GBT. If you can GOT, fantastic. If you can GBT, phenomenal. If you can't, it's okay. As long as you complete your PhD, but don't take, or your masters, Don't take more than 4 or 5 years. If you can finish it before 4 or 5 years, all right? Why? Because the longer you take, the higher the chances you can quit. Okay, the higher the chances your supervisor can quit on you also. Okay, they can go somewhere else, they can transfer, look for new job, retire, many different phenomena. We don't want that. Okay, many different phenomena. We don't want that. So try to keep it under 4 or 5 years, if possible under 4 years, and just keep working. Don't worry about on time, before time. If you aim for that, go for it. That's good. I'm not saying it's not good, but it's not for everyone. Okay, not everyone have the same lifestyle. And PhD is a journey. When I say journey, that means everyone have their own journey. Not everyone's journey are the same. Always keep that in mind. All right, so that you can take off that social pressure around you, if you have any social pressure at all. Okay, so I never did my master's, so I skipped my master's, went straight into my PhD. Then at the age of 26, I was a postdoc already at AIPT Birmingham. I was very fast because I skipped my master's. So when I started my postdoc at 26, all my students, PhD students, were definitely elder than me. I was the youngest. Okay, as a matter of fact, I was the youngest amongst the staff in AIPT Birmingham. Then I joined Telecom Malaysia R&D. I was also the youngest manager there. Thanks to my PhD, I was the youngest manager, and then became senior manager and so on. I was there for about 5 years, and then I started my own company. I got tired of working, so I wanted to do my own venture with my knowledge I have. So I started this, Proofreading by UK PhD. I'm currently the chief editor and founder. I'm also an adjunct lecturer with UTP for quite some time already now. I have accumulated grants in excess of 5 million USD. That's a huge accumulation over 4 years, 5 years time. Yes. And then 60 plus publications. This one became very slow at the active part when I was in Birmingham, and when I was in TM R&D during my first year, second year, with all the spirits I had. I used to publish like 20, 25 papers, sometimes even 30 papers a year. So these are all accumulated within very short time. And then I slowed down because I ventured into business, and I kind of slowed down. Now I publish at least 1 to 2 per year. I keep that momentum going. Last year, I think I had 1 or 2. Last year I had 1 or 2. This year I had one already. This year I have one already. So I'm having another 3 more under review now. Okay. 3 US patents, 8 different standards. I was a consultant with Georgia Tech Atlanta under the Industry Advisory Board. 6 different awards, and I think more than 9 or 10 advice. I'm not bothered to update that anymore nowadays. So, and this is who we are as an organization for the newcomers today. Last talk, they already know about this, but the people who joined for the first time, this is us. Where I am coming from, who I am actually. This is my origin, Proofreading by UK PhD. We are based at Cyberjaya. So in case if you want to visit, there's actually many from UPSI always visit me. Many, okay, many. So feel free, do let me know in advance because it's on appointment basis. We are the only ISO 9001-2015 certified company in Malaysia in academic consulting area. And we are also endorsed and recognized by SFEP, also known as CFEP in the UK, and HRDF certified as well for Malaysia. And these are all our presence all over the world. We have clients from all these countries, 34 countries. And these are all the official tie-up of MOU, official proofreader, and so on with all these institutions and journals. And this is our page count, and this is what we do. All right. So let's forget internal services. Today, I'm going to share knowledge from my experience. From my experience of dealing with, I think now I never update this number. I think now we already hit almost 21 or more than 21,000 already. So what did I get from all this knowledge? Special knowledge from various subject areas, from various situations that we try to solve. Okay, reviewers will say A, will say B, will say D, theses, examiners, all different kind of experience. I've gained a lot of information over this 6, 7, or I think probably 7, 8 years now. Okay, so today we are the knowledge that I've gained over these things that I do. Today we are going to focus on publication. We are going to look at thesis to journal conversion. We are going to look at a bit on thesis, and we are going to look at not formatting, but all the language parts as well. So I'm going to unveil the knowledges that I've gained through these things that I do. Okay. So to all of you, 61 of you, I think, I want you guys to be keyboard warriors. So as I said, if you're doing anything else, please forget it. Trust me, The time that you start engaging on the keyboard, that's when you'll start learning more. If you're just listening, your attention might go somewhere else. You're just wasting your time. If you want to do that, might as well leave. No point, honestly, because you're not going to learn. You're just wasting your toes. You might think that you're learning. After the whole class finish, you'll not remember. So engage with the keyboard, ask questions, look at this only, don't look at anything else. Okay? I can assure you it's going to be interesting. All right. How many of you here actually attended my Facebook live class before? As a matter of fact, I had a live class yesterday explaining problem statement writing. If you guys missed out, I can show you. Please do let me know how many of you actually here have attended my Facebook classes before in the chat box.
No, doctor.
Okay, all right. Okay, all right. Okay. Don't worry. I mean, if you have never attended, just say never attend. If you have attended, just say I've attended. No problem at all. I just want to see, do I know the group well or not? So I can actually tell you where you can go and find good resources. These are all resources. Okay, these are not business. These are all resources. These are all free classes that I'm willing to teach people on particular problems that they're facing. Why do I do this? Because they cannot find the answers. Okay, they cannot find the right answers. Supervisors don't have time to teach them like what I do. I have the time, I have the luxury because this is what I do full time. And I take pleasure in teaching actually. I take pleasure in teaching when they learn, when they benefit from it. Many people graduated over these past 6, 7 months and so on. All they acknowledge are these classes. Whenever I go and tell them congratulations, I say thank you for all the free classes. It really helped a lot. So I'm going to show you some of those classes. So I can see many of you never attend before. JBF, Nani attended before, some attended. Okay, so let me just quickly show you guys. All right. So this is my Facebook page. This is where I live and breathe. Okay, almost every day. Not almost every day. It's actually every day. Okay, so the link to this Facebook page is this. Okay, in case if you want to visit, you can pay a visit. It's totally free. No one is going to charge you for visiting. All right. So you can click that link and visit. It's in the chat box. If you guys know where's the chat box, you can click that. Once you arrive here, you can sort of walk through like a shop. You walk through a shop, right? So you can just go through, see what I've shared. Like this one I shared yesterday. Okay, how to write an impressive literature review. So you can go through, you can learn. And then this is the class that I conducted yesterday. Problem statement in 7 steps. Okay, I taught it for almost an hour, I think. This is the template that I used for teaching this class. All right. Then this is chapter 2 literature review. Again, we shared a couple of days ago. So the upcoming classes, let me just share very quickly the upcoming classes in case if you're interested. Next week, Monday, we have one class, proposal defense by December 2022. How many of you here have not gone for proposal defense yet? Belum lagi. Haven't gone for proposal defense yet. How many of you? Preparing, not going yet, still very early. Okay. Anyone else? Do you already? Okay, I think this class is very important for you, Nick. Okay, so these are the upcoming classes. I've shared the link already. Links already. Please click that, register yourself. This is next week, Monday. This is the following Monday, and then this is the following Wednesday. So 13, 12, 20, 29. The theme this time is, I taught problem statement yesterday. Next one is proposal defense time plan by or before December 2022, what you need to do. And then 20th June is chapter 1 template, as you can see there. And then 29th June, we're going to talk about writing review journal specifically. So today we're going to touch base a bit. Wednesday 29th June, we're going to touch more. So you can click all of that, just click going or register, whatever button you can see, like just click. And most importantly, when you visit this page, don't forget to click follow button. It'll be somewhere here. Follow button, you see follow settings here. You can sort of click here. Why? Because only then when I go live, even if you register this one I'll know that you're interested. Facebook may or may not show you that the class had started. Very, very cheeky. Facebook, they don't show. They just want to make money. Now they're becoming horrible. Facebook, really, really horrible. Last time they used to be a social sharing, that environment, but now it's just purely money. Okay, they're just becoming horrendous. All right. So what you need to do is make sure you click follow button so that you know when I go live. All right. So that is done. Now let's look at previous classes. For an example, yesterday's class as well. So this was yesterday. All right, I had some hiccup, so I had to restart the class again. So this is the full class. Problem statement 7 steps. So in case if you're interested, you can go and watch this class. How to write problem statement very explicitly. Okay, and then as you scroll down, you can see many different classes, but these are the full collections. This one right here. Free writing tutorials by Dr. Tawa, 110 videos. I haven't had the time to add the problem statement class yet. So once you click here, see all free class starting a PhD proposal, research gap, designing questionnaire instrument, literature review databases, systematic literature review, finding journal for publication, um, PhD daily time planning, literature review search and strategy, many lah. Problem statement class, chapter 1 background, chapter 1 introduction, many different classes that I have ran before. As I said, more than 100 classes you can just go through when you have free time. Yeah, make use of it. Okay, it's free. I mean, nothing to be shy of. No one is going to see whether you're watching or going to the class. You can do it at your free time. This is the entire link for the whole playlist. Enjoy. Make sure you click follow. Make sure you click like. Make sure you click share. Those are 3 requirements from me, which all 3 are also free buttons. Okay, so enjoy. Okay, so now let's go to next part. Okay, so in case if you're wondering where you can reach out to me or not reach out to me, where you can keep following all this, sharing all the time, these are the spaces. Okay, these are my channels. So these are the links. If you want the links, I can give it to you. The Telegram is very, very important if you have not joined. The Telegram is where I share all my templates, free templates. So as you can see, now we have more than 9,623 members already. Okay, so when I share on Facebook, in case, because Facebook won't show it to you, that's how cheeky it is. But it'll be still posted here. So it's very beneficial for you guys. So you'll get daily content. Okay, this is not channel, it's a group where you can type. So it's not marketing. It's purely sharing. So you can see here all the problem statement template. You just have to click this pinned message here. All right, so you can get access to all kind of templates. Okay, so example, this is problem statement template that I developed some time ago. Then you can you just click search button here. Let's say you want to look for literature review. Okay, literature review. This is a resources center. Just that I cannot put them very nicely, but it's there. So you just have to take a bit of time to find it. This is systematic review template. Okay, this one here, systematic review template. I can tag this for you guys. What is a systematic review template? It is how you do inclusion exclusion. A lot of people have that question. How do I do inclusion exclusion? How do I decide? How do I know? So I give you an example already. Okay, so you can look at this and decide your inclusion exclusion based on this template. And then literature review, and this one is literature review summary. These are all templates. Conceptual paper, which will be important for today's class. I'm going to tag it as well for you guys. Concept paper actually. Okay, concept paper. Okay, these are the samples I'll be using today. I'll be sharing today. So you can download scoping review sample, SLR sample, Web of Science Q1 concept paper, and concept paper sample. So these are all sample papers that I have personally worked on. Okay, and also I will share my my own paper that I published this this year. Here you go. This is my paper. Okay, that's it for the notes. So everything you can download it from here. No problem, no problem, no worries. Okay, so that is that. Oh yeah, the links I shared already. Okay, so then you have YouTube channel, your Facebook page, you have TikTok. TikTok is where you'll find a lot of short videos on explaining certain important phenomena whenever I have time, lah. Right, whenever I have time. Okay, so today we're going to cover what are high impact journals, how to find a journal, types of journal papers, criteria for a high impact paper writing, potential extraction of journals from a thesis, why rejection happens, cover letter and sample. All right, so these are the 7 important contents we're going to cover today. All right, now coming back to you guys, I need to know this before I start the class. Very, very important. I need response from all of you. Take 2 minutes to respond. What is the publication requirement for if you're doing masters? What is the requirement? If you're doing PhD, what is the requirement? If you're an academician, what is your KPI? Please do respond to this in the chat box. Take 2 minutes. Yeah, and don't forget to mention Scopus or Web of Science. Okay, we have Dr. Saslina. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Mas. All right. Everyone, I say 60 over. Come on, guys. Get in, jump in, rope in. 2 Scopus. All right. Okay, while you guys are writing it, please keep in mind, don't get persuaded by people who are offering publishing in 24 hours, publishing in 48 hours, publishing in 1 week. Please don't get carried away with that. Okay, it doesn't work that way. Those are all scam, right? Probably some of you would have suffered. You might think that those journals are in Scopus. Okay, there are 2 ways. 2 ways you'll get literally screwed lah. Okay, I'm sorry for the language, but literally you'll get screwed lah. Certain journal will never give you comments. Okay, no reviewer response, no reviewer comments, nothing. Okay, you just say that they'll just say, oh, the language is here and there. Okay, okay, paper accepted. Okay, here's the email. Pay the money, dude. Okay, try not to, because those are at risk zone. Once Scopus audits those journals, they'll be kicked out. 150%, they'll be kicked out. And it might happen at any time, because Scopus usually kicks out at about February, March. But last year, they kicked out February, March, and also September, October. They kicked out twice. Okay, some of my clients that I knew, I told them not to go for it, but they went. They paid 900 USD and got literally screwed. They accepted paper within 1.5 weeks. Accepted. They told me, I said, don't. No comments, nothing. Looks very suspicious. They never believe me. They paid because they're excited. Paper accepted. Well, who's not excited? So they paid 900 USD. Not small money. 900 USD. They paid. Within 2 weeks, Elsevier coming out with an announcement. They are removing certain journals, and this is one of the journal. Another way they'll con you is they'll tell you, we won't send you email. We'll give you a letter of acceptance. That one 100% scam. Okay. Because there is no such thing called letter of acceptance. There is only email acceptance. Any big journals, they'll give you email acceptance. These scam journals, let's say, okay, they portray as Pertanika. Pertanika has it on the website. All of you know what is Pertanika, right? Pertanika is UPM journal. They even put a scam alert on their website, because that's what the scammers do. They create a website. Okay, let's say example. This is important awareness I need to raise to you guys. Okay, so let's say Pertanika. Pertanika is a fantastic journal. Okay, let's say pertanika.upm.edu.my PJSSH. What they'll do is they'll do pertanika.epm.net or .com or .net lah, usually .net or something lah. Okay, and then they'll create very, very similar website, and then they'll give you acceptance letter, and then they'll put the journal here after publishing. So that is scam. That is called mirror website. It's not the same. You're not indexed in Scopus. Your paper will never appear in Scopus. They'll take the money, they'll cheat a few people, then they'll disappear. So don't trust on Facebook, whoever comes and offer. A lot of people doing on Facebook, especially people from, okay, I don't want to mention countries lah, okay? Be careful. They must give you email acceptance. There is no letter of acceptance, only email. Okay, they don't use email because they don't have this URL. They don't have pertanika.upm.edu. Okay, they don't have, let's say this Prof Roslan is emailing you. Prof Roslan at pertanika.upm.edu.my. They don't have that email. because it's URL owned by UPM. So they will have different URL. So they cannot give you a letter, an email. So they will give you a letter. So be careful, be careful of that. All right. So thanks for all the responses. Now let's look at what are high impact journals. These are what I call as high impact journals. We are very proud that we have worked on all these papers. This is just only some, not even 1% of our collections, but I don't have space to show everything. And these are 4 key papers I would like to share. During the last classes, I shared these papers. This time also I share because this time it's more significant to share these papers. If you observe, okay, if you observe from these papers, okay, you observe at these papers, look at the impact factor. Okay, these are very, 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 very high impact factor. 14.982, 12.563, 10.3, 9.297, that means very, very high. What does it signify if it's very high? Very high means very, very good, to be fair. Okay, very high means very, very good. The higher it is, that means the more citations this journal is getting. That means it's very prominent. All right, very, very prominent. Okay, to explain in a better way, imagine impact factor as the number of Instagram followers you have. The more followers you have, the more prominent you are. Same story here. All right, and the higher you are, the higher the chances to get into Q1. Okay, then after Q1, they'll have Q1 top 10. All right, Q1 top 10. So the higher you are, the easier for you to go into Q1 top 10. Then they'll have Q1 top 5. Top 5 journal, like this one is number 1. You see here, rank, that's called ranking. Ranking 1 out of 44. All right, so that means this is number 1 in the entire world in the area of energy. Green energy, I think, okay? All right. And why I shared this particular paper? Because I want you to go and read it if you want to read it. This is your local authors writing the paper, so very easy for you to connect with them. I mean, connect with them, not with them literally, but with the paper. So that you don't have that feeling that this is someone wrote in the US or UK. Of course, they can get it. Of course, I cannot get it. No such thing. This one are all 4 papers we personally worked on, all are local papers. So you can personally connect with these papers. You know that you also can do the same if you put the initiative. All right. So same goes here. This is from UPM, my very good friend Bernard. Rank 3 out of 144. This is from Parvez, also my very good friend. We actually co-authored a paper this year together. I was very interested to work with him. Rank 5 out of 125. Conceptual review paper. This is the groundbreaking paper of last year. Okay, March 2021. This was the groundbreaking paper that I worked on. I was really proud of this paper because concept paper, people will say Scopus Q3, Q4 also very hard. But we proved that it can go up to Q1 impact factor 10.3, rank 5 out of 125. Top 5 journal, top 5 journals. So yeah, this is our biggest milestone lah. Then Dr. Herold's paper. Dr. Herold's paper, systematic review, Q1, impact factor 9.297, ranked 18 out of 274. I also had, this is the first paper that we worked together. Okay, we and Dr. Herold, we worked together. And after that, I think now we are in the 13th or 14th paper now this year. Okay, all of it are Q1. No, some of it were Scopus. Some of it was Scopus Q1, Q2. Another point I would like to highlight, if you see here, these are all review papers. You see, these are all review papers. That means I am trying to tell you that you don't need to wait until you collect your data to publish your papers. You can publish as you go. You don't need to wait. As soon as you finish your research proposal or you're on the way to research proposal, you can already start writing your papers. And I'm going to show you how. All right. How to publish in high impact? First, obviously, you have to do good research. If you do a research where there is no problem to solve, you can never publish that paper, that topic. You can never publish. Formulate and you can publish probably in ERA's journal or non-index journal, but not in Scopus or ISI. Scopus Q3, maybe Q4 lah, maybe lah. Formulate an important RORQ to represent good research. Do not work alone. If you can, do not work alone. Bring in co-authors, okay, good co-authors who will collaborate with you. Okay, who will collaborate with you, who will help you take certain portion of responsibility so that you can move faster. Don't take freeloaders. Okay, don't take freeloaders. Freeloaders are, well, worthless. All right. Solid research methodology, very, very important. Have amazing results, okay, which goes very well with to support your RORQ. In case if you don't have data, okay, you don't have data collected, opt for scoping, systematic review with solid review. Okay. So this one we'll talk about it more in a while. And then don't forget, most importantly, solid writing. Don't change anything after proofreading. Very important. Don't change anything. If you change, don't change more than one time. If you change more than 2 times, 3 times, that means you need to proofread again. That means the whole structure already out of order. Okay, very simple. That's how I normally judge a paper. And confirm the paper will get language problem. All right. What else? Must be an informative paper. Remember that I must be an informative paper. There is no point that you are reinventing the wheel. Okay, there is no point. If you reinvent the wheel, there is nothing informative about your work because people can just read it from other papers. They're not going to get significant impact from your work. What is take home message? Take home message means value. Okay, what value do your paper provide? What are the new information provided? So that is something that is something very crucial you need to look into. Well structured, perfect flow. The paper should sound like a Harry Potter book. That is how the paper should flow. If it is not there, people won't be able to follow. Even though your paper might carry a lot of weightage, it will be misrepresented. It won't be understood clearly, so it therefore will be rejected. That's why structuring and flow are very, very important. Avoid careless mistakes, bad language. You have only one opportunity to convince the editor, and always write amazing cover letter. I'm going to give you a cover letter today for you to write, for you to use. No worries on that. And have a lot of patience. Don't come last minute and try to publish. It's going to be very tough, not easy. Okay, and a lot of people come and ask me, can you get it published 3 months? Can you get it published in 6 months? Can you get it published in 5 months? I don't own the journals. No one owns the journal. Only the journal owns the journals. Okay, only Elsevier, Emerald, all these people, these big people who owns the journals. Okay, they are the big bosses. You cannot judge. You cannot be, you cannot be fixated. I need 3 months, 4 months. Yeah, I know you're rushing, but the journal don't care. Okay, end up what happens? You get these kind of scammers. They'll tell you 24 hours, 48 hours, 1 week. So you get carried away. You pay them money. End up your paper will be in rubbish bin. Once they publish it online, you cannot reuse that paper. It will be in Turnitin already. So not only it's not in Scopus, though that paper you have to scrap it completely. I've paraphrased so many papers before in that situation. So many. Okay, I open Facebook, people will be spamming me. Come, submit, 24 hours, 48 hours. All the journals will accept. Please don't go. One way or another, it will come back and bite you. All right. Okay, this is the entire review process. Okay. So these are all standard things. You submit, editor assess the article. Due to few reasons, they might reject. Okay, I will explain the reasons later on in the class. Almost towards the end, I'll explain to you why you get desk rejection. If let's say you escape desk rejection, you went to reviewers. Reviewers will give you three outcome: direct acceptance, direct rejection, or revisions until they're happy. Okay, until they're happy, it might take sometimes 2 to 3 rounds, sometimes 4, sometimes 5. It won't be 5 lah. I think maximum 4. Then they'll decide accept or reject. Okay, how many of you here think that a journal, or have actually heard that a journal can get acceptance directly without any revision? Do you guys think it's possible? Okay, everyone, come back here, focus here. Do you guys think acceptance possible of a journal without any correction, without any revision? If you, okay. Everyone, what do you think? Give your opinion. Give your opinion. It's very important. Okay, so some said it's a scam. Okay, impossible. All right. So actually, Dr. Ramin is right. 99.99% of the time it's scam. But I have personal experience. I never got it before. I have two experiences. First one, yes, you are right, Mas. First one was from UTHM. That was year 2018. But I cannot recall the doctor's name. She came from my workshop and she told me, you proofread and you already went through, but I forgot her name. But the most recent one, I only have two. Out of 22,000 documents I worked on, I only have two. One more is, I'll share with you. Maybe you can go and read the paper. Let me see. Okay, this is our group, very, very active group. Okay, but I don't have time to update a lot of things here. So you can find a lot of tutorials being shared. Okay. Effective academic writing in case if you're interested to join. There you go. JICT, UPSI. Oh, that's very good. Congratulations. Very good. Okay, but let's look at ISIQ1. Possible tak? Okay, I'll show you. There you go. Dr. Noor Hidayat. Okay, Noor, senior lecturer, UTM, in, I think, mechanical engineering, if I'm not mistaken. Surprisingly, after joining Dr. Tawa's workshop, how to publish in Q1 journal, getting a service by proofreading by UK PhD to proofread my paper, he came to my workshop because in my Q1 journal workshop, I give them template, Elsevier-based template, okay, that I designed myself. Okay, it's following top papers in the industry, and I've already formed a very, very niche and precise template. I managed to publish the journal in Web of Science ISIQ1 impact factor 5.683 without correction. Actually, no correction, without correction. Apologize for his English. This paper directly accepted by the editor. This is the paper. Fence deactivation for minimization of airborne pathogen transmission during Malaysians congregational prayer gathering in mosque. Okay, I had the pleasure of working on this paper. I love the paper. In case if you want to read the paper, you're interested to learn more, this is the link. We actually made it happen. I know it's very, very low chance, okay, but in my lifetime, I've made two papers accepted without correction. The first one I have to trace, but I don't have the time, but this is the second one. Out of 20 to 21,000. So if you think it's possible, I would say it is possible, but the chances are, I calculated 0.0077% or something like that, the chances of getting direct acceptance. All right, but it's possible. But like what Dr. Ramin said earlier, other journals who give you direct acceptance within short time, they are mostly scam. They must give you review response. They must. Okay? Keep that in mind. Now let's move forward. Okay, so I'm going to skip this. Let's go to this one I already shared in the last class. I'm going to skip this also. Let's go here. All right. So ISI, Scopus, quartile, impact factor. So I already explained to you impact factor. So impact factor is like Instagram followers. Okay, that is the best, easiest way I can describe. So it's the number of citations a journal gets thanks to the best papers that it's publishing. Same goes to Instagram influencer. They get a lot of followers thanks to the best content that they publish all the time. Almost same idea lah. All right. Then you have quartile. Okay, quartile is decided based on impact factor also. So there is Q4, Q3, Q2, and Q1. Any journals, okay, any subject area will have X amount of journals. All right. Like this one, let's say this one example, got 44 journals in green energy. Let's take this as an example. This is number one. Okay. So here got 44. That means 11, 11, 11, 11. Equally split. Usually. So this one, 11, the highest number one is 14 point something just now. 14 plus lah. Okay, 14 plus. Then we have another 10. What are the 10? We don't know. Depends on the subject area. No one knows. All right. So it can be 10, it can be 9, it can be 7, it can be 6, it can be 6.3, then 6, then 5.8, 5.7, 5.6, and so on. Finish. Okay. First 11, top 10, done. Or first 11 done lah, because only got 44. What? Then the subsequent round, let's say 4.2, let's say 4.2, 3.8, 3.5, 2.5, and so on, all under 11 goes under Q2. Then comes Q3. This one might be from 2.2 to 1.2, example. This is the remaining 11. Then the final 11 will go Q4. That is how they split Q1 to Q4. Do you guys understand or not? If you ever wonder how they get Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, this is how it works. All of you can follow. Okay, so example, let me just, okay, so let's say example here, we have 44 journals, okay, in this subject area, okay, renewable and sustainable energy reviews, that means under green energy, I think. There are 44 journals ranked, okay, 44 listed journals in this subject area. Okay, could be any journals, could be any journal. So, 44 journals under quartile impact factor. So let's say 44 total journals under green energy. Now, the highest we know is, let's put it this way, 14 plus. Okay. So we know there is, this is number 1. Then we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, finish Q1. Then you got Q2, 12 to 23. Then we have 24 to, kalau 11, 35. Okay, to 35. Then we have 35 to 44. Q3, Q4. How do you know which one is 12, which one is 23, which one is 24, which one is 25? How do you know the ranking? Because the top one is already 14. 14 plus kan tadi. 14 plus, okay, number 1. Then the rest will fall as the number depletes, as the in descending order. Let's say next one 13, next one 12, next one 11, next one 10, next one 9, next one 8.5, next one 7.9, next 6 point something, blah 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 blah. Then let's say the last one is 6.5 impact factor. The next one, the subsequent one, let's say impact factor is 6.2 is already here, Q2 already. Let's say here you're finishing at 3.5. 3.4 will go here, Q3 already. Until 2 point, let's say 1.9 lah. Okay, 1.9. Then the subsequent one, 1.8, will go down until the final one lah. So within 44 journals for this particular subject area. Some have 120, 200,000 journals. That one will go massive lah. All right. So there is very hard to say that if you have impact factor 3, that means Q1. Not really. It can be Q2, can be Q3, depending on your subject area. So you have to go through Clever Analytics to check that. Clear now, everyone? Okay, so I hope I've explained that. Okay, very good. Okay, now, for you to publish, forget this. Rubbish. Honestly, rubbish. Don't waste your time anymore. Enough of error and all this crap. If you want to publish, go for these 3 only. Non-index journals you can support because they are coming up. They are new. I wouldn't say don't support them. But ERA usually, it's okay, but a lot of scam journals are there. All right. So if you just have a paper, you just want to throw somewhere, throw to some non-index journal. It's okay. It's fine. As long as you don't pay any money. If you don't pay any money, nothing to lose. You have extra paper, you want to write something, you want to throw. Then you have Web of Science, you have Scopus, you have ABDC. ABDC is for business, economics, accounts, finance, those areas lah, right? They are the same standard, but this is a very niche subject area. This one, all subject area. This is the Lamborghinis of publishing, this both, all right? This one is the Toyota of publishing. That is the difference in standard, if you want to know, all right? Now, where do you normally go and publish? These are the prominent ones. These are very, 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 very expensive. Very. These are mostly free. But these are fast. These are slow. Not all of them are fast. Some of them can take time also. But the fastest is always MDPI. Okay, for an example, how fast MDPI can be. Okay, so now you're going to need to join the group because you have to download the paper if you want to. This is the link again. So this is my concept paper. If you want to download, this is Scopus Q1. I wasn't bothered to go for ISI. ISI takes a very long time for me. And I always tend to be, if you want to write papers with me, feel free to welcome. We can write together and so on. Don't worry, I'll always be the last author because I don't have any KP. I'm not really bothered. So Journal of Open Innovation, Technology, Market and Complexity, MDPI. All right. So this is a concept paper. Okay, how many of you here intend to write concept paper? Anyone wants to write concept paper? Okay, we have Mask wants to write. Anyone? Okay, more. Anyone else? Only three wants to write concept paper. We have Farah. Anyone else? Okay. Concept paper has a perception that it cannot go beyond Scopus Q4, Q3, which is true. Which is true. If you write a very simple, plain concept paper, I think Scopus Q4, Q3 is already very tough. Okay. Because we work on a lot of papers, we know the standards very well. This paper, on the other hand, went on to got published in Scopus Q1, ESCI. Okay, haven't gone to ISI. This is a brand new journal, but already Scopus Q1. And we got it published. Let me show you. We got it published, received 25th January this year, accepted by 1st March. That means what? That is 5 plus 30, 35 days accepted, done. Okay, MDPI. It cost us 850 USD. We shared among all the authors, which is fine. All right. People don't like MDPI. Sometimes they say it's very expensive, but who cares? If you can afford, if you have like 6, 7, 8 authors, you can share among your authors. You can publish fast, then you publish. Don't listen to people who says open access is bad, open access is bad. Open access is bad for scam journals. Open access is fantastic for these journals. You have to choose and pick the journals very well. IEEE Access, MDPI, PLOS ONE, Scientific Reports. These are all open access journals. Frontiers, IGI Global. They're all legit and good journals. So, as a matter of fact, let me go back to my paper. Where is it? Okay, this one. As a matter of fact, MDPI was suing Billsley's, okay, because they included the MDPI into Billsley saying that they're scam journal. They sued Billsley's. They sued the university as well. And immediately the journal was removed from Bill's list. So it's speculation. Anyone tells if you can afford, publish. If you can't, it's okay. If you are rushing, this is the best solution. That's all I can tell you. And I have to tell you, it's not easy. Very, very tough to get in. The paper that you write must be really, really good. If no, as the you see how fast they're accepting, faster than that they'll reject your paper. Much quicker than that they'll reject, because I got so many rejections from MDPI before. This is my second paper, MDPI. I got one MDPI sustainability. This is MDPI open innovation. They're very. I was a guest editor with MDPI census last time. Okay, back in 2019, if I'm not, or 2018, if I'm not mistaken. I know how tough they are. They're tough. All right. So let me just scroll through very quickly how we wrote this paper. Okay, so it's just, you might think, oh, just wording. No, just wait, see. This is how we make our paper very interesting. Okay, so we put in a lot of diagrams, a lot of interesting diagrams, you see. Okay, so we have a bibliographic coupling as well. We have a lot of bibliographic coupling. And we have not one, but two literature matrices. Okay, so we got one here and one more here. Sorry, one more here. And we have two different conceptual framework, one here and one more here. And then a lot of discussion, lengthy discussion, because the discussion is going to strengthen your concept paper. And we are done, finish. Okay. So again, if you're interested to join the Telegram group to download the paper, this is the link. Feel free and make sure you cite the paper. Okay. All right. So if you want fast, if you can afford, these are the solution. If you don't mind waiting, that's why I say plan early. Plan early so that you can go for free ones. You can go for this. Okay. How to find a journal? Very easy. These are the easiest solution, but not so very effective, because you know why? Like example, Elsevier Journal Finder, Taylor Francis Author Services, Journal Finder, Wiley Journal Finder, Springer Journal Suggester. All these are limited to their journals only. You don't get to find all the journals around. Okay, that's one problem. So second method is forward and backward snowballing. Very simple technique actually. Backward snowballing means you're going back in time, not back to the future, back in time. Let's say you're reading a paper. Okay, let me just take my example. Alamak, did I closed? Oh yeah, I closed. Okay, let's say this paper. You're reading this paper now. This is a brand new paper, right? So you're reading this paper now. Sorry, and you like this paper, so you'll be like, okay, my topic is very close. I'm working on SDG for quality education as well. I like this. I want to write something similar, but where do I submit the paper? You'll be asking. So what you can do, very simple. Scroll down. Look at the references. This is backward snowballing. Focus in. See, Journal of Open Technology, Journal of Open Innovation, Open Innovation, Open Innovation, Open Innovation. Lot of open innovation actually. New something. Um, Conferences, processes, MDPI processes, cogent business management, sustainability, processes, business strategy environment. So from here, I can know that, okay, I can know that I can potentially publish in these journals because these are all similar journals that are publishing similar topics. So these are all potential journals I can submit to. All right, that is backward snowballing. Next one, forward snowballing. That means I go back in time. So what I can do is very simple. I search the paper. Let's say this is the paper. All right, so I go and I search for this paper. Actually, let me just do it in Google Scholar. Okay, from here, from this paper, I know that I have two citations. So I click this. From here, I know that I can, both also Journal of Open Innovation and Open Innovation, so both also the same. But if you go for older papers, you'll find more journals here. Who has cited the journal that you're reading? You can also go for those papers to submit if you want to publish in those journals. Okay, so that is called forward snowballing. These are two techniques that you can use. Types of journal papers. We have original research. This is where you need data. Rapid communication of letters. This one also you need data. These are all short journals. These are all long journals, but we're not going to talk about it today. Okay, we will talk about it, but not so much. And then we have review articles. Okay, review articles is what we are talking for so long now. And then we have case studies. Case studies are usually for law and medical, usually. All right, so these are the four types of journals you can focus upon. Under review papers, you have systematic review. Under systematic review, you have meta-analysis, qualitative or quantitative. So they are all under one umbrella. Then you have Cochrane review. Cochrane review is a form of systematic review, usually done for medical segments. Then you have scoping review. The paper I shared with you earlier, the concept paper was scoping review. That was scoping review method. If you realize all of these have very strict guidelines to follow. All right, very strict guidelines to follow. I'll talk more about these guidelines in my next class with you guys, which will focus on systematic review. Then you have narrative review, critical review, conceptual review, stereo review. So long people had been writing conceptual review based on narrative review. That's why it doesn't go very far. So this time we reformulated. I'm going to run a workshop on that very soon, which I use this recent paper published. I use scoping review for concept paper, and it easily got accepted in the Scopus Q1. I can easily submit the paper to ISI as well. All right. So what I've done is I've taken this. Okay, since we don't have guidelines, so it's not very widely accepted. I have taken this and I've combined with this. I've added them together and it worked out very well. So I'm going to teach very soon a workshop on how to get that done. All right. Now, for those who want to understand more narrative style literature review, this is a very good paper for you to go through. This is a writing narrative style literature review by Rosella Ferrari. Very good notes for you to go through.
Okay. Situ aja. Belah, aduh, syukur yang banyak. Ya. Ada sama-sama ada. Ya, habis semangat kuat.
Host, can you mute, please? Okay, thank you. And then you have scoping, the one yang tadi I shared, the one I shared just now, the paper, that was scoping review. All right, so if you want to learn more about scoping review, you can read this paper. A scoping review of scoping reviews. If you want to, I know by now most of you already went for Dr. Harold's class, so you know what is systematic review. But in case, if you don't know systematic review, you want to learn further, I have simplified the entire systematic review process into very simple 12 steps, okay? And the video is here. already formulated that one. Okay, I'm not very. Sometimes I'm active, sometimes I'm not active on TikTok. But this is the video. 12 steps for systematic literature review. I've simplified, so you don't need to go through any guidelines. You can just follow these steps given here and do your thing lah. All right, do your systematic review lah. So this is my TikTok channel. So there is few videos very important here. 12 steps systematic review. Then next one is 5 methods to find research gap. And then this Google Scholar search. Okay, how to do proper Google Scholar search for literature review. Okay, so you can look at those as well. What to have in a review paper structure. Okay, what a review paper must comprise of. So we must have that idea beforehand before we start writing. So first, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 items. 2 items compulsory, 4 items optional. Compulsory items are these 2. These are compulsory. Resolve ambiguities. Definitely you must resolve. Provide a comprehensive overview on the current state of knowledge. Comprehensive means you must be very detailed. When it comes to review paper, you must be very detailed. All right. Next thing, 1, 2, 3, 4 items. This one you can choose as optional item. Either you can choose 1, you can choose 2, you can choose 3, or you can choose all 4. Up to you what kind of papers you are writing. Example, you can identify inconsistencies in prior results. You can if you want to. You can evaluate methodologies alone, or you can develop a conceptual framework, or you can describe roadmap, existing gaps, and so on. So you can do a combination of 1, 2. Then you can identify inconsistency, and then you can describe roadmap, or you can identify inconsistency, you can develop conceptual framework, or you can just evaluate methodologies and then talk about roadmap and existing gaps. So there are many different things you can do. Up to you what you want to do. You have to plan that. All right. Yes. Even if there is idea, this is a very true thing. Huh? Even if there's idea, I still can't write. What is the actual problem? Why? This is the actual problem. All right. So things I should do and things I would like to do are something else. But end up, things I do when I'm procrastinating are this. And the work stays put. How many of you are going through this problem? I'm going to give you some solution, but I need an honest answer from you. Are you facing this problem? Procrastination. Is it taking up too much of your time? Okay, I'm going to give you a super solution today to overcome this, but I need honest answers from all of you. All right? Do you guys want to overcome that problem? More energy, more energy, more. Okay, we want more energy. Okay, very simple. Right after class today, take a small envelope or nice box and so on. I can give you my address. Put your phones into the box. Parcel it to me. I'll keep it free of charge. Okay, I won't charge you until you finish your PhD or masters. All right, or until you publish your paper. I'll keep it for you, but you have to be phoneless lah. All right, I'll store it for you, free storage. Then you have to live with it lah. Is that okay? Immediately everyone became silent. No lah, I'm just kidding. Like, what your phone lah. Okay. What you can do is you can do the same thing, not send to me, but lock it away. Either you can get a very small locker, or you can give it to your spouse or your partner, or you can give it to your kids, whoever, to hold on to your phone while you're working. Phone is the biggest factor. All right. You have to isolate yourself from your phone. Total isolation is required. Your phone is is worse than cocaine now, worse than drugs. Okay, it can really waste your time. And you cannot get out of it. You'll be like going and going and going. You kids next to you, spouse next to you, anyone next to you, so you won't realize. That is the most dangerous tool at the moment. Okay, very, very useful and very, very dangerous. Waste a lot of our time. So what you can do, you have to isolate yourself. Now, next question you'll ask me, my laptop got Wi-Fi, my PC got Wi-Fi, I can connect also. Yes, I know. So what you need to do is go on to your laptop or computer as soon as you log in. download all the necessary documents that you need. Because all your thesis, everything is already in your PC. You don't need connection for that. If you need literature, plan everything, quickly download. Before you start procrastinating, download. Once you download, keep them, disconnect your Wi-Fi, click forget password. There is an option where you can click forget password. One or forget connection. I think forget connection or forget Wi-Fi or forget password, one of it lah. You click that, then if you want to rejoin, you need to enter the password. All right. So if you want to control yourself, you want to rehabilitate yourself, this is the best method. Once you already rehabilitate, you're already like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you are into it, the transition already occur, your mind will be okay. You'll be okay after you can control yourself already. This is a real problem. This is a real issue that a lot of people are facing that they don't say out, okay, that they don't actually realize it's a problem. So try doing these two methods, see if it works or not. Only you can change your journey. I can only tell. Initiative is entirely yours. Unless you want me to take Rotan and come to your place, I can. Okay, I can. Service charges applied, but I can. All right. Okay, so how to tackle chief editor's comment on language? Okay, let's say chief editor tells you something that you don't want to do, or you know that they are wrong. You know it's not correct. What do you do? Okay, this is a paper from Dr. Kavi Raja from UITM Kuala Pila. One of my most important papers that I got, like I told you, not only proofreading, my experience that I've gained advising people, teaching people how to do what to do, how to get published and so on, actually taught me a lot, back to back. So I know that these things can be done. So I take the risk to do it. So this paper, the editor said you have to do some stylistic changes, and so after proofreading, paraphrasing, and so on, he said I don't like the way you're writing. You need to change and blah 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 blah, blah all these things lah. Then this editor, he actually went to Professor Grady Beans from University of Strathclyde, I think Scotland. He went and changed himself. He went and deleted some sentences. I don't like all this. Remove all this. If you agree, do it. Do for the whole paper. Remove all of this. You don't even know what to remove. He just did a bit of example only. So it's supposed to be accepted. So Dr. Kavi came to me and said, Doc, you already did all paraphrasing, proofing, your team or did already. What am I supposed to do now? They're still complaining on language. Then I looked at the changes. I was like, okay, this one not necessary, not necessary, not necessary. Nothing to do with English problem. This one, yes, this is one single English problem here, which I agree. I shouldn't use it. It's not language problem. It's not the right way to write. So I agree with it. So I removed it. Sometimes, muscle memory, just so used to you doing it, writing like that. So I agree with this. But all these 3, 4, I don't agree. Because there's nothing wrong with, however, because I write like a story. He wants to write like a report. Whose mistake is that? It's not my mistake, not his mistake either, but not necessarily I have to follow. So I told Dr. Kavi, if you do all this, it's a senior lecturer in UITM, I think. If you follow what he wants, we don't even know what to trace out and remove in the whole paper. So that's risking a lot. And if he remove and if he doesn't like it, then he might reject the paper. So I would advise you to write an email to him saying that why we did what we did. I explained to him everything, like how you need to explain, how you need to write the email and so on. And he did. Okay, he took the risk. He did it because we know we cannot resolve this problem. Because if I want to resolve how to convert a good writing into a shitty writing. He wants a shitty writing. Although he's a British, he's an English. He wants it like report writing. But most editors wants it like story writing. So, in a more academic writing. But he wants it like a lab report, straight to the point. Point 1, point 2, point 3, point 4, point 5, finish. We supposed to write like story. So I disagreed. And after the email, the paper was published, thankfully. So like I said, you're not always wrong. They are not always right. Okay? But you must know whether you're right or wrong. For that, you must have very good people with you who can actually advise you what to do. So this is the paper optimization of quail eggshells as biocomposite of polyaniline in ammonia gas detection. Now it's already more than impact factor 2, if I'm not mistaken. I think already became Q1 now. Wiley Journal, very good journal. This was what the editor replied. Thank you for your letter from Grady Beans. I had to censor that time because it was not accepted yet when I shared last year. But after then, I missed the email already, so I just left it. Thank you for your letter. A couple of things. The word it should be avoided, which I agree. I showed you guys already. I already removed that, just that one part. The other 2 cases are, I would agree, a trade-off. I always eliminate phrases that are not necessary. See, How are we supposed to know, even you as an author, what the editor thinks as unnecessary or necessary? Not grammar problem, necessary, unnecessary. Because I believe less words are always better. However, I do agree that sometimes fluency, I think the word transition is more what you mean. You don't want to jump around from one thought to another. Means words are added that don't provide meaning. I will defer to your judgment on that issue. It is your paper after all. Okay? So, learn to say no. All right? Next thing, criteria for high impact paper writing. All right. Before we start this, any questions so far? All of you are clear so far? Okay, so I believe you guys are clear. All right, so let's continue. Okay, abstract writing. Abstract writing, there are two ways to write. For thesis, in the last class, I shared already 7 steps. For publication, only 5 steps. Okay, only 5 steps. Have you guys downloaded the abstract with 7 steps for thesis and proposal? Whoever attended the last class, have you guys downloaded? Whoever never attended, please let me know. So I'll tell you where to find that abstract template. It's a template in PDF I already given to you. You can very easily write your thesis or proposal abstract. Please kindly advise, guys. Okay, if the long silence means I assume you guys know where the abstract are, so I'll leave it at that. Okay, so here, the publication abstract here are 5 steps. Straight to the point, what are you doing? How you are doing it? What was the outcome? Why the outcome? Conclude by amplifying your achievement. So these are the 5 steps. All right. Red color is this. Blue color is this. Or dark blue lah. Light cyan blue and orange will be this, and black color is this. This is the right way for you to write an abstract. Okay, this is how you have to segmentize your abstract. If you want to know write abstract, just fill up this template. Straight to the point. What are you doing? How you're doing it? What was the outcome? Why the outcome? Conclude by amplifying achievement. Finish. Done. Okay, for thesis is in the Telegram group. You guys can download. All right. For introduction writing. All right. For introduction writing, you can split between background, minor literature review, problem statement, solution. Same flow for thesis and same flow for publication also. Just that publication, obviously, it's shorter. Okay, again, here if you see, introduce your audience to your subject, include some statistics or how important is this topic. This statistic part, I also have another template in the Telegram group. If you want me to show me, if you want me to show you, I can show you. If you know where to find it, then you can go ahead and find it. Okay, because when you write your background, you need statistical information. For statistical information, you need to know where to find those. So I already compiled a list of websites where you can go and look for statistical information to increase the readability or the reliability of your background. Okay, that means there is a motivation why you're doing what you're doing. So if you can find it in my Telegram group, go ahead and find it. All right. Then comes minor literature review. Okay, this is where you describe key past literature, part of your background, start from bigger picture and work your way down. Problem statement, 7 steps. Problem statement template. I did the class yesterday on Facebook. If you want the template also, it's in the Telegram group. If you want me to show you, I can show you. Problem statement 7. Problem statement basically derives the problem in a flow. Grab your audience attention. Be extremely critical, extreme. And I've already break this down into 7 steps. Okay, problem statement. Very easy for you to just fill up. Even into paragraphs as well. Next thing, solution. Okay, after you mention the problem, you can mention the solution, which is, so you are critical how you're going to solve it. It is imperative that you nail the problem. So be confident, discuss how you contribute to knowledge. Explain in segments if required. Okay, this whole thing I've already made into separate classes. Okay, video classes. So in case if you're interested, you can go and Okay. Videos. Okay, so if you go down here, okay, so the entire flow, chapter 1 introduction, chapter 1 background, you can use your publication as well. Problem statement 1, 2, 3, 4, research objectives from problem statement. So I've already shared all of it. All right, so if you want to watch, you can watch for further elaboration. So I cannot explain all this in this class today because if you can see, each class here is 1 hour. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 hours just for these 7 classes. All right. So start from these 2 classes if you want to get further information. Okay. Then once you write the problem statement, your RO, your RQ, you can start working on literature matrix. Okay, literature matrix start by searching for articles, 1 or 2 articles per day. Google Scholar is more than enough unless you do systematic review, but always check the impact factor, always. Read the articles immediately, extract information related to author's title, theory, variable, solution, method, finding, implications, and your own critical review. I also have templates for this. It's in the Telegram group. So if you want me to show you, I can show you if you want to. Okay, otherwise you can just search from the Telegram itself. Okay, so don't save the articles for later because most likely you will not revisit. You know what I'm talking about. Because the moment we save, we go on saving spree and it is just sitting in the folder. Nothing happens after that, most of the time. Insert all those info into literature matrix on daily basis. Within 14 days, you would have a complete literature matrix. You may adopt systematic search or conventional search. Limit your search period, maybe 10 years. Keep in mind, you may have kids at home or busy with full-time job. It is going to be exhausting. So rather than trying to do everything and getting yourself exhausted, do what you can to have an effective output. This is what we want, end of the day, literature matrix. Okay? So reading critically and creatively. No need to worry about the rest, all right? Being critical, you can focus on these questions. All right, these questions alone. Critical reading can include asking, is this paper worth at all to read or not? That's the first question you should ask. Don't waste your time reading everything. What problems this author is trying to solve? That's another thing you need to focus on too. Is it the right problem? Are there much simpler solution? What are the limitations of the solution? Obvious and hidden limitations. Were the assumptions reasonable? Can you discredit the work and create a new gap? Is the methodology rigorous? Now let's read creatively. The ideas in the paper have other applications or extensions. Can it be developed further? Are there improvements that might make important difference? What would you do next from the author left? These are all the questions you can ask when you're reading a paper as part of literature review exercises. All right, so I've already listed down all the questions for you to go through if you want to go through when you're reading a paper. Okay, now let's go to results. Okay, results, you'll have graphs like this, or you'll have quantitative tables, or you have qualitative excerpts. How to present this? When you provide a result, please assure that you describe all the important elements, including interpretations. What are interpretations? These are interpretations. You see here how I'm interpreting. So not only you can write down here, line of writing, you can also interpret directly from the table. Example here, you have some interesting result. You can always highlight them. Okay, you can always highlight them, or you can take the whole table, cut, make it into image, and then can put arrows to explain on the diagram as well. No harm, definitely you can do that. Same goes to excerpts as well, qualitative. You can highlight, whichever you want to highlight, or you can highlight and comment and make that as an image and paste it back. So that is called interpretations on the diagram itself. This is a very effective way to do it. And I got it published in Impact Factor 4.8. Impact Factor 4.0 was very high 10 years ago, because back then research was very little, not as scarce, not that time was a bit scarce compared to now, very, very active. Okay, I'm talking about 10, 11 years ago. And then based on the interpretation, you declare opinions, explain effects of findings, and making suggestions, predictions. Discussion must answer research question. Okay, and blah, 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 the rest. All right. Conclusion is extremely important. You just need to do 2 things in conclusion. Highlight contributions, highlight the impact. Can you cite in conclusion? Please answer me this. Can you put reference in conclusion? Can you cite the statement in conclusion? Can you do that? Please let me know what you think, yes or no. When you write conclusion, can you actually cite in the conclusion or not? Okay. If you don't know, just say don't know. It's okay. All right. If you're unsure, just say unsure. Okay. We have 2 yes. That's okay. No problem. Okay. So that's good. Unsure, just say unsure. So at least I know that you're not sure on that part. Okay. In conclusion, you shouldn't cite, because if you cite, it becomes part of your discussion. You must only cite up to the discussion, but conclusion is closing. Okay. Imagine you're watching a film. Okay. You're watching a film like that. Watching. You have 5 characters. Go talk about 5 characters. Suddenly at the end, people all 5 died. Well, 6 character came in. Don't know where this one came from. You don't even understand who's the 6th character. You'll be like, who's this lah? I don't know. And then the movie end abruptly. So that is very bad ending. Same goes to conclusion. Is you're talking about, if you talk a whole story, conclusion, 5 people die or 5 people, whatever you want to talk about the 5 people only. Finish. Don't add citation, introduce new information, all that don't. All that's supposed to be done within the length of the film, not climax, not conclusion. Okay? Understood? Always connect writing to films, and you'll very easily write it. Okay? Potential extension of journals from a thesis. So this one is the most important section for today. If you're not giving attention today, if you're doing something else, okay, because some of you are very quiet, I'm afraid that this section is very, very important for all of you. Give your unparalleled attention to this section. Okay, you will, no problem, no worries. You will definitely benefit a lot from this. Okay, there is no one single formula for extraction of content. There is none. Okay, we have done so many extraction in our life before. We work with so many professors, so many associate professors. They bring in a lot of theses, a lot of undergraduate theses, sort of we educate them how to extract and so on. Some just ask us to extract as it is and so on. When we want to extract such things, there is no single formula. Every thesis is different. Okay, but we can sort of look into how to commonly do it, or what kind of papers you can actually extract. Your thesis is the anchor. Remember, one thesis equals to one paper only is a total disaster, except if it is masters. Masters is fine, but PhD, if you only have one paper for one thesis, it's a disaster, right? Remember, your thesis is like Google Map. You must locate individual papers, break down the ideas. Okay, so let me explain to you the next diagram. Okay, here better. This one much easier rather than word after word. Okay, again going back to my blueprint diagram. All right, so let me just draw this very quickly. So you have step 1 is here. All right, this is step 1. That is 10 pages. Then you have chapter 1 to 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. This comes here. Then you have 4 and 5, which comes here, right? Then you have future work, which is here. That means this is almost the end already. Our future, you can also assume here. Okay. Future work is here, right? So these are the steps. Okay. So if you look at here, if you are still at the proposal stage, thesis stage, please take note. Always start with step 1. Okay. This is my consultancy framework. So whenever I coach, whenever I consult students, I don't have the habit of going live every day morning and talk about life to people. Okay. I don't have time for that. You don't have time for that as well. All right. So you don't want people talking to you, nagging you, telling you the same thing over and over again every day. Okay, for me, very simple. I already created a solution. This is the steps to get you from the beginning until the end. And let's see how we can work together to make this happen. Full stop. All right. I don't want to nag and nag and nag every day. That's why I don't do Facebook Live every morning or every day. I don't do that. Okay, that is you're already too much of stress. I don't want to keep bleeping about the same information. Okay. So step 1 here, 10 pages proposal, which includes introduction, background, problem statement, your RORQ, significance, literature, theory, conceptual, thematic, solution, whatever framework lah, okay? Whatever solution that you're doing, then you have your methodology. So about 9 to 10 sections must be done. Within 10 pages, enough. Don't make it too long. If you want 20, also can. Okay, we work with either way. We coach with either way. We coach 10 pages or we coach 20 pages. Doesn't matter. As long as the contents are there. Why we do this? Why we don't straight go to chapter 1 to 3? Because your supervisor decides what you're going to do next. Always, ultimately, your supervisor is the most important person. Always keep that in mind. Whether you take any coaches in the world, whether you take coach from UK, coach from US, you take whoever want to consult you from Malaysia, whoever lah, no one is above your supervisor. Always remember that. Okay. Don't take the instruction of someone else and then go and bite your supervisor. That is a bad decision. So how I normally work is I want to communicate with the supervisor. When I teach you, like tuition lah, even if you have tuition, your school is a primary. You're still going to write your exam there. Always remember it like that. Okay. So don't tell your tuition is the best and then abandon your school. Where are you going to write your exam? Who's going to take care of you in the school? So always put that in mind. Here, 10 pages is to, share with your supervisor what you intend to do. All right. Once you share, supervisor likes it, then look at step number 2. Then you start writing full proposal, chapters 1 to 3, expand into 60 to 80 pages. When you expand that, go chapter by chapter. Make sure you go chapter by chapter. Don't go all one go chapters 1 to 3. Don't do that. Some supervisor wants it chapter 1 to 3 together, then you just follow. Okay, if you can convince them to take one by one, then you convince. If you cannot, it's okay. Don't force them. Once you go chapter 1 to 3, why I like go chapter by chapter when I coach or consult my entire team, we like to go chapter by chapter, because if there's any issue in chapter 1, okay, if your supervisor wants to give feedback, sometimes I talk to supervisor directly. I'll say, what do you think? What are we going to do? And so on. Then he'll say, no, this part is, I think he needs to look into this and so on. Let him deal with it first. If he wants help, then he'll come back to you and so on. So, that's how we communicate normally. Then they'll come back for chapter. Once there are comments, he'll come back. Then we'll discuss. We'll improve chapter 1. Then we go for 2, and then we go for 3. So you know that, you see, these are all a flow. This is like a body. Okay, this is like your body. If you have a virus here, you have to solve the virus here. You cannot leave the virus until then and then solve it. By here, the virus is already fat already, already big already. COVID already become Novid already. Okay, you don't know what it becomes also. So if there is problem here, you solve it here so that it doesn't cascade along. That is my theory of document development. So it works out very well so far. Then you go for proofreading, which is compulsory nowadays for proposal. They're quite strict nowadays. I don't know about UPSI, but most universities are. And then normally we will coach them for defense training, PowerPoint, how to do and so on. Remember, PowerPoint for defense or Viva, 70% diagram, only 30% words. Don't forget this in any circumstances. Don't forget this. All right. Don't put too much of wording. Makes it completely boring. All right. Okay. So once you've done a chapter 1 to 3, you can start actually from step 1 itself. Once you finish 10 pages proposal, you can start writing a first paper, your scoping review paper. Okay. That is your first review, because scoping review paper is scope. You read a lot of things before you decide on a title. So all that reading, all that journey can become one paper. Then once you have your full proposal, you already specifically have a topic, you focus already, that can become a concept paper, which 2 journals here I've mentioned here, extraction, can become a concept paper and an SLR paper. Concept paper focusing on chapters 1 to 3, SLR paper only focuses on chapter 2. Remember the 6 items I told you earlier about review paper? That is how you can split and use here. Okay, next thing, once you finish all these, okay, then you go for defense. After your, let me param this, let me remove this. Okay, then after your defense, you get a lot of comments. This one you need to address immediately. This is one of our hottest coaching point, consulting point, because they don't know what to do after that. All the idea already drained out already, they are stuck, don't know what to do after that. Okay. Once we clear this part, proposal done. Okay, so this is how I connect publication with thesis. All right. Once this is done, finish. So by this time, you already submitted all these 3 papers already. By right, you should submit all these 3 papers. Or let's say, even if you forget scoping, you can still write these 2 papers and submit by then already. Move to thesis. So while you're going to work on the thesis, your paper is in review already. Your paper is going through review process. Reject, resubmit, reject, resubmit, reject, resubmit, going on. At least at certain point, you already have 1 or 2 papers published. Settle already, Then you continue. Okay, get your data done, you do your analysis. Okay, normally we normally work on NVivo, Amos, Smart PLS, SPSS, and so on and so forth, eViews and so on. Once you finish all of that, then what we do next is we combine chapters 1 to 5. That means we take the information from here, we take the information from here, and we take the information from here. That means your full proposal, chapter 1 to 3, your corrected proposal based on proposal defense comments, proposal comments, and your analysis, chapter 4 and 5, you make it step number 9. Chapters 1 to 5 alignment, you expand, add in new references, complete the whole thesis. Then you extract 2 more journals. These 2 journals will be okay, not an issue. If you're stuck, you don't know how to move forward and so on, you always can approach me. We can discuss about it. No worries, okay? Definitely can resolve. Okay, we have resolved people who supposed to quit after 10 years, graduated last year March, Dr. Taira. So we have that kind of record, so no worries. Okay, so here once we extract these 2 more journals we can extract here is based on chapter 4 and 5 results. Either you can salami slice to create more journals, or you can create 1 empirical paper and you can create 1 more SLR meta-analysis. Meta-analysis is a very complex paper. We recently started working on it. We have output so far. Actually, three education-based meta-analysis journal already released already. So it's a very complex thing. Okay, so you can write empirical 1, meta-analysis 1. Then once you reach here, finish proofreading. This proofreading is compulsory. You must do this proofreading because external examiner is reading it. Once you finish that, the future work here, means your future work in your thesis, you can create another scoping review. Why? Because it's exploring another new study area. You're going to explore again. You're going to expand. So it becomes another scoping review. Okay, so that is the entire journey of your PhD explained in a single diagram, right? So that's why I'm telling you, don't need to go to Facebook Live, sit down every day, listen to crap. You can save that time and actually focus on working on your PhD, all right? A lot of people I see, they are just wasting time watching a lot of live program every day. Don't waste your time like that. Your time is precious during PhD, okay? So next thing, unless that particular class is giving you specific knowledge about writing, about developing research and so on. If it's just motivation every day, motivation only you will get, but you won't progress. Please look into it, okay? Next thing, once you finish 2 journals, finish proofreading, prepare for Viva. Mock Viva is very important. These 2 we do very frequently, okay? Mock Viva, mock defense with slides. We focus a lot on educating them how to defend. Okay, I actually shared some of the points in the last class also. So far, always minor correction after we give them mock, because we will grill them. We will squeeze them dry, then they'll go back to supervisor. Supervisor will squeeze them again. By then, they'll be very good. Okay, by then, they'll be perfect. Then go for defense. And once you get the corrections here, minor or major, go for Viva, minor or major, we'll do a final coaching and done, finish. All right, so this is the entire journey. Okay, no problem. You can catch up after this. All right, this is the entire journey of your PhD thesis, PhD proposal, even masters also, and also publication. I've aligned all of it in a single journey. Right? And how do we normally assist? If you have written something, we have 4 different modes in terms of coaching. If you have written something, you have written certain part, like for example, you said defense twice, I don't know what to do after that, and so on. Those kind of situation, if the proposal is still usable, these 2 would be good. Content commenting, massive content commenting, critical content commenting on what you need, how to improve. What we'll give usually line by line comments, like quite tedious. And then we'll do an online coaching session to explain the comments, how you can improve it further and so on. So this is actual one-touch coaching kind of thing. But let's say if you need further development, you really don't know how to develop, you're still at the very early stage, or even if you develop, it's completely rubbish, you cannot use it, not saying your work is rubbish, but cannot be used and so on. These 2 are the most suitable. This is more for early stage or late stage, but critical problem. Then accelerated thesis consultancy will build a comprehensive coaching plan for you to follow, to write every part. You will write it yourself, or how to write every part. And then because since we are working with you together, when we download literature, we'll share it with you. Once you finish writing, then we'll give you a lot of comments. So this is very detailed, schedule, follow, very detailed one. Mode number 4, content editing only for special cases. These are 4 different modes that we normally work on. All right. Now, some of the sample papers I'm going to share with you today. We're not done yet, because cover letter is only coming after this. Some of the sample papers I'm going to share with you. So this is from Dr. Harold. Some people know me as Dr. Thanos. Where the name came from, this is the guy who introduced that name. Very sticky name. Okay, so they called me Thanos. That is where the whole thing happened. When his first paper got published, this is the review he wrote for me. Mirror, mirror on the wall, what climate change adaptation strategies are practiced by the fishermen of all. So in case if you want to know how to write systematic review, this is a good paper for you to go through to understand how to write a systematic review and get it published in Impact Factor 9.29. Okay, this is amazing achievement. Huh? I like this guy. This guy is a true professional. Okay, and very good at writing his papers. Okay, next thing, also by Parvez, Dr. Parvez now just recently graduated. A very good concept paper. These are all groundbreaking papers in Malaysia, locally produced. I don't want to talk about overseas papers. There are many. We focus on what is being done locally so you guys can connect to the papers. This is a concept paper by Dr. Satyaranjit's group. So Parvez is the one who worked on this paper. I had the pleasure of working on the language part of it. We got it published in Impact Factor 10.3, top 5 paper, just concept paper. Huh? You can get the paper from here actually. Mana tadi this one there. These are the papers. Scoping review, SLR sample, Web of Science Q1 concept paper, concept paper. These are all the papers that you can go and download. All right. Okay, so next one is my own paper. I already shared earlier. So this is scoping review. If you want to know how to do scoping review, this is the paper you should go and read and cite the paper. And lucky for you guys, it's in education area. All right. Okay. So as a summary, proposal, thesis stage. Under proposal stage, concept paper, scoping review paper, SLR paper, I already explained when to write. Under thesis stage, empirical paper, SLR meta-analysis, and scoping review. These are the paper bases in summary. All right. Okay. So this one all I explained already. I'll skip this. Okay. Now, journal production tips. As I've seen above, all top-notch papers from our esteemed clients. Okay. Those are top-notch papers making the impossible possible. Right? Important points I always discuss with them. Don't assume your reader understands everything. Explain and be descriptive. Make sure the ideas are well structured in the paper. Avoid all over the place method. Avoid that when you're writing. Okay, like you write this one a bit here, a bit there, a bit here, a bit there. You don't even know what is the story. Polish and always polish, and very, very important, no matter how much people deny it, no matter how much people think the Grammarly is enough, it's never enough. I can guarantee you it's never enough. Especially if you go for PhD examination, if your examiner is very critical, if you go for good Scopus and good ISI journal, Grammarly is never enough. We are running a company even though Grammarly is around, so you can imagine. Get a solid editor to proofread and edit your material. Get someone experienced in publishing. They must know. Thesis, they must have written a thesis. They must be a PhD holder. Otherwise, how would they know what is required at this examination level? What kind of English must there be? Okay. Don't get carried away with cheap service provider. They are providing cheap because they know they are not good. If they are good, they'll never provide it cheap. So don't get carried away with cheap service provider. I'm not telling this to criticize them, but the outcome, I can guarantee you, won't be very good. Okay, so be careful of that. And finally, this is very important for you to submit when submitting a paper or even thesis, a professional proofreading certificate. And very importantly, these endorsements are important for journals to educate them that you are getting proofread by a very, very eligible company. Okay. How your document must be after proofreading, many don't know what to expect. This is very true. Many students don't know. This is not only with us. Whoever you go and proofread, okay, you must expect something like this. Okay, this is paraphrasing, proofreading, editing, and structuring. If you want to know what Dr. Hero's paper went through in terms of transformation, that is what the paper went through. This is his first systematic review paper. Okay, and that is after published, Elsevier, Journal of Cleaner Production. Then we have sustainability. This is Dr. Senbong Lim from UKM, also went through massive paraphrasing and finally got published in Impact Factor 3.251, Sustainability, MDPI. Okay. Why rejection happens? Okay, so These are the main reasons. Remember just now I told the diagram, why editor reject at editor's desk level. These are the four main reasons. Language, I already explained what you need to do. Abstract, I already explained to you how to write it. Cover letter, I'm going to explain to you how you're going to write cover letter in next slide. Lack of novelty, I already tell you when to extract, what to extract, when to strategize your papers. Reviewer stage, if content problem, definitely can resolve it. Lack of novelty also can resolve it. Unrealistic claims, please don't do. Not a timely research, use latest references. If you use latest references, usually your research will be timely. Okay, so these are the ways to overcome it. Finally, okay, how to choose suitable language engineering mode to overcome the language part. We do offer these 4 core services: proofreading, editing, proofreading, paraphrasing, proofreading, editing. So these 2 are okay, but nowadays I realize that paraphrasing is one thing, but structuring is the core item because it improves the overall flow. You can see the difference between this and between this. It improves the overall flow of the writing. How from sentence to sentence, paragraph to paragraph, how does it flow? All right, so this is very, very important. And mind you, I only share this promotion during live classes and online classes. I don't share this anywhere else. All right. So ultimate thesis package up to 30% off, proofreading, translation, formatting services, and we are the one and only language warranty provider. So there's a language warranty, whether thesis, grant, journal, whatever. Okay. Cover letter and sample. Let's get to cover letter now. Cover letter is the most important marketing tool that you need to build for your paper, because how you're going to inform the editor in a very short one page on how awesome is your paper. Not abstract. Abstract is the information about your paper, but how you're going to express about your paper to the editor. This is the way. Okay, so I've already structured the cover letter. You can use it. I'll email it to you. Make sure you register yourself and have all the email address given to me, organizer, so I can email to you. First, you start editor-in-chief, blah, 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 journal, and so on. First paragraph, you talk about information, all right? Title, authors, and which journal. Next thing, central theme, novelty, depth. Okay, what is this? I'm not going to read through the whole thing. I'll tell you very quickly. Central theme, novelty, depth means everything about your paper. What is your paper focusing on in terms of specific technological or specific problem you're looking at? Second thing, you write about contributions. First contribution, second contribution, third contribution. This is as if you're telling the editor how good is your paper and what are the special features in your paper. What are the special things you can expect from my paper? That is the first part. The second part, always remember, when you sell something, the first thing you have to tell how good is your things, your product, okay, your paper line in this case. Next thing, you must tell the buyer, which is the editor who's going to accept your paper, why this paper is very important for you. How is it going to help you? How is it going to help you? How is it going to help the editor? By getting him more citation. They need more citation. Remember that. So you must emphasize on citation now. So therefore, I talk about what particular citing areas my paper cover. So you can see these are all important thing happened 10 years ago, not now. Okay. This is a winning cover letter. Got me a lot of papers up to 11.7 impact factor. And then I explain what is the actual problem being faced and how I'm going to solve that particular problem. Okay, so I'll tell him, I tell him. Therefore, this paper it could provide a full duplex design guideline for 4G long-term evolution radio fiber integration to readers through general optical communication networking. So I tell him, through your journal, people are going to get the first guideline. It is the first in the literature that reports actual full duplex 4G long-term evolution. You must only tell this if you're 100% sure. If it's not the first, please don't tell. Okay. And finally, declaration. That's it. So you can reuse these. Do you guys want this cover letter or not? Do you want me to send it to you along with the notes? Okay. All right. I'll definitely attach it together. No worries. Okay. Let me just close this. And finally, I'm going to share with all of you SLR paper, cover letter, concept paper, scoping review, concept paper. Okay, I'm going to share with you all of this. I hope you guys have learned from the class today. We are almost done now. I hope I never bore you. I hope I never give you unnecessary information. On that note, this is where we are located. Again, as the previous class, I always give you the opportunity to request for new classes coming from July, August, September, and so on Facebook Live. I'll be doing different classes. With Oopsie, I already signed up for next another 2 more classes, systematic review and mapping. That is after that. But I also do side classes on Facebook Live on very niche topic on the problems that you're facing, because I don't know what particular problems you are facing. So I'm giving an opportunity to request for classes. By giving me a review for the class today, please give me 5 star. It's a humble request. If you're going to give me less than 5 star, don't give me the review. You can always PM me on Telegram. I will still do the class for you. So based on consensus on Google review, all the comments, I will be designing class for July and August. Okay. So this is your opportunity. Please go to this link. Where is it? Okay. Please go to this particular link. Click the link, hit 5 star. Please don't give me anything less than 5 star. It's a humble request. And in the comment column, you can write down what classes you want next. All right. In case if you don't want to click it, it's fine. You can still talk to me on Telegram or WhatsApp. Okay. So in case if you want to get in touch with me to discuss further any of you facing problem, this is my WhatsApp link. All right. So on that note, thank you very much. At the end, if you're still stuck, do come for consultations and workshop. Not only students, academicians also, Prof from Prof Barakatun from UPM. We work very closely with academicians and students. What we normally do, we work on publication content editing, thesis examiner response, PhD proposal consultancy, defense viva preparations, thesis to journal conversion, data analysis and interpretation. Okay. So on that note, thank you very much. I wish you all the best. Thanks for attending today. It's a very good crowd, very effective and active crowd. I wish you all the best, guys. And the attendance link also given by NCDRC, by the organizer. So let me stop sharing my screen. Okay. Over to you, organizer.
Okay, Doctor, thank you very much for your sharing for
Thank
today.
you.
So we will meet you again on September, right?
Yeah. Next one, I think so. I pun tak sure lah. Banyak date dah.
Bulan September, Doctor.
Okay. Then September lah.
Our next class, 7th September,
Okay.
on systematic literature review.
Yeah. All right. So thank you very much for organizing today. Thanks for your time. So thank you to all the students. All the links that I need to share, I share already. In case if you miss out any links, do let me know. Wish you good luck, guys, and see you soon in September.
Please fill in the attendance, everyone. Thank you very much.
Okay. See you all.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you. See you in September.
All right. See you. Bye-bye.
Okay. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.